All right, guys, so today we're going to talk about one of my favorite sequences that I've been working on. So we're going to start with the Kani Basami, and we're going to go using that movement to get into a cross Ashi. And from there, we're going to examine what I think is one of the best offensive sequences you can run down in like the modern leg lock meta. Okay? All right, so let's get started. So my training partner is going to be on. By the way, you guys, you just like walk around and look wherever you want. Like, you don't need to all stare at me. So we're going to have a training partner on 2 knees, okay? We're going to grip his wrists, like so. Also, guys, I'm going to have a butterfly guard where my heels are together, my toes are apart, okay? I'm going to grip his wrists. I'm going to move my head towards his chest and then grip his triceps. Okay, when I have good grips on his triceps, I'm drawing my elbows in towards my hips. And I'm going to do just a basic butterfly guard elevation. I'm sure a lot of you guys know this, just to reiterate how this works. When we do a basic butterfly guard elevation, I can't have a straight back. I have to have a relatively round spine. Because if I have a straight back, what's going to happen is I'm just going to flop on the ground and I don't really get any elevation. If I have a round spine, when I shoot my hips into my heels, I create a rocking chair effect and I can actually elevate somebody. So here, I grip the wrists, we come forward, grip the triceps. Now, my heels are together, my toes are apart, my spine is round. I bring my hips into my heels, and that elevates him over me. When I've elevated him over me, the first thing I want you guys to do is catch like this, double underhooks. Once you've secured double underhooks, if he does this, immediately grip behind his knees. So for the person having a move done on that, bring your heels into your butt, okay? The reason why someone would do this is that if his heels are lower to the floor, it's easier for me to just shoot through into like a standard Ashi Garami. So they bring their heels into their hips to make that difficult for me. All right? Now, when you see this reaction, you catch the upper body, then we go right to the knees. I'm gonna slightly tilt to one side, okay? Once I slightly tilt to that side, I'm gonna take the leg that's on the side I've tilted towards, and it's gonna come around the knee of the leg that we're attacking. The leg that's on the inside does not go, I don't penetrate deep with it because then I'm gonna lose my frame. Whenever we do, come on for 1 second. So whenever we do a Kani Basami, guys, so you guys look at my legs here, see how my legs are in like a reverse X style configuration? So whenever we do a Kani Basami, each leg has a specific purpose, okay? This leg, that's the top leg, this is what we call the frame leg, okay? This is what's gonna prevent me from getting crushed when I do the move, all right? In this case, my left leg, the one that's going underneath, is what we call the swivel leg. That's the leg that's gonna swivel around his thigh, okay? And that's gonna put me into the cross Ashi position, okay? So when we take the frame leg, if I punch it deep, what happens is I don't have a frame, okay? So let's look at that. So right here, if I were to look at my frame leg, guys, see how I'm bringing it through? My knee, you see how my knee is going deeper? Here I have a frame. If he falls on me, my shin is in his way. Okay, so we don't take our frame leg and go deep. We take our frame leg, we keep it in place, and the swivel leg comes around and then back. At the same time, when we're doing this, we're holding his knees. This is risky, but there's a purpose to it, okay? If I hold his knees, what I can do is I can prevent him from pointing his knees out. When he points his knees out, yeah, I can't get around the thigh anymore. It's really hard. Okay, I want the knees pointed in. So let me get the knees pointed in. Okay, now when I swivel, it's possible for my swivel leg to come around the thigh and come back behind the hamstring. Okay, the next thing we have to focus on is framing here with my right arm, locking a triangle. And again, I lock the triangle by taking my swivel leg to my frame leg, not my frame leg to my swivel leg, okay? My left arm, at the same time, I need to be controlling the secondary leg. That's this leg, all right? You start with a grip at the knee, but then as you enter the position, you snake it around, and then, so just posture up here so you can see this. If you guys see what my left hand is doing, I'm gripping the top of his thigh, right? You can see that? So I don't just keep it here. There's a lot of space for him to punch underhooks and do all sorts of things to counter. If I go deep with it and I grip his thigh, there's not a lot of space here. This is a lot safer, okay? And if you get good at this position here, where you have a frame here, it's actually really hard to get crushed here, okay? Now to take him down, what we're gonna do is, we're gonna keep bringing him back and forth in opposing directions until we destroy his base, okay? And actually guys, with the frame arm, post with a secret of the arm, that helps. Okay, if I'm here, sometimes it slips, I need to catch an arm triangle on me. Yeah, this is obviously not good. But if you post here, it's harder to slip out. Okay? So here we're gonna push back and forth until eventually he falls down in one direction. Okay, I find, in my experience, this is usually the direction that they fall down. It could be either way, but this is a little bit more common, I think. Okay, so let's look at it again. So, yeah, let's do it from the other side. I grip the wrist, I come forward, and then I get the triceps. I'm gonna shoot my hips in. And the reason why we grab here, by the way, guys, before we go to the knees, is that, if we go back, what we don't want to do is go straight to the knees and then have him just do a front roll over us. Okay, so if we're here, guys, face for that. So if I go here, and so when I elevate, you just do like a light front roll. So I go here, you get that. Now, I'm just doing a little slower. This time, because I'm gonna grip the underhooks. This time, if he does that, so you can just follow him up, and that doesn't really make any sense for him to do anymore. All right, so it's a good practice to get the underhooks first. Then when he rolls, if he does that, right, you can counter him with this, okay? So we always feel he's gonna do that first, and we don't go right to the knees. Grip, you just do this quick. You feel, okay, he's not rolling, you go to the knees. You come around, frame, snake your arm deep, lock up your legs. Avoid the temptation to take your frame leg and bring it to your swivel leg. This is terrible. I'm getting crushed almost every single time. You have to keep the frame leg. Do you guys see how my shin is across basically his torso? Another thing to avoid, guys, don't flare your knee over his hip. That's how you bust your knee up. So we want to do this move, but we also don't want to get hurt as we do it, okay? Keep the knee in the center of his torso. Here, this is pretty good. I can carry his weight. So if you lean on this, this is not gonna hurt me. If I flare it over the hip, yeah, now we would, okay? So let's avoid that. Grip the secondary leg like so, and now we're gonna push him over. If he doesn't fall down that way, we can also take him this way. So if he comes towards me, you can push him the other way, but usually, we'll fall down this way, okay? And then we land in a cross ashi with both legs controlled, okay? When you land here, make sure you have an ankle lock style grip on the secondary leg, okay? And then you can take this hand and you can hold the knee, okay? All right, let's give this a try, guys. 1, 2, 3.